Should there be more competition within the private sector to provide NHS services in England? And does that undermine the ethos of the NHS? Some recent large contracts are fueling the debate. One to provide cancer care in Staffordshire will be worth over £1 billion to the winner, and another to supply elderly care in Cambridgeshire is also worth around £1 billion. This has led to accusations of privatisation by the back door, as our health editor Hugh Pym reports.
On a 300-mile march to Westminster, a group of mothers from the northeast of England, backed by some unions and other supporters, they oppose hospital cutbacks and what they claim is the increased privatisation of NHS services.
When you open the NHS to the private sector, it's profit that gets put before healthcare, and we have significant concerns around that. And we feel that services that are not profitable will be left in the NHS.
Contract to run cancer care in Staffordshire is one which has fuelled the debate. Unions say it's a dangerous experiment. Management argue it'll provide better value for money. For NHS community health services in England, things like care of the elderly at home, use of private companies has gone up from 12% of spending in the 2010 financial year to 18% in 2012. But for hospital care, use of the private sector for NHS patients, including hip replacements, accounted for 3% of spending in the 2010 year. It had increased only to 4% 2 years later. The political debate about the role of the private sector in healthcare will no doubt continue as the election draws nearer. But what do patients think about it? How much do they care about who provides the service, as long as it's effective and within the overall control of the NHS? In Cambridgeshire, a contract for elderly care could go to the private sector, so we asked local people what they thought about that possibility.
As long as it's excellent quality and the caregivers are well qualified, it's not a problem.
If a profit has to be made, then I should think that will be the priority for a private organisation.
A former government advisor argued that private providers could deliver high-quality care.
Remember, if they do a bad job, unlike government services, you can fire them and get someone else in. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's actually a safe way to deliver better care for people.
A government spokesperson said the outsourcing trend had begun under Labour. The marchers will try to get their points across to all political parties as they head southwards. Hugh Pym, BBC News.